Our discussion now is Chairman Adam Schiff, chairman of the House Intelligence Committee. He is just back from the Munich Security Conference. And Chairman Schiff, latest intelligence that you probably have before us, of course, is that we are now hearing the sounds of war in Ukraine's capital city.
Sadly, Lawrence, I think a full invasion is underway. The Russians will try to decapitate Ukrainian defenses. They will, in addition to the cyber attacks, the shutting down of airspace, go after Ukrainian military assets, try to disable them with their own kind of shock and awe. And, Ukrainians will fight, but I think they will be overwhelmed initially. Where it's going to become very costly to Russia is over the longer term. And sadly, I think the cost and casualties will be high. I think that the loss of Russian troops will also be high, and Russian mothers and fathers are going to see their sons come back in body bags. This is Putin's war. It is just naked aggression, and I think it's disastrous.
Today, President Zelensky, in effect, promised Vladimir Putin real and powerful retaliation to his invasion, saying, "You will see our faces, not our backs." And so you just referred to Russian body bags coming back. This is going to be, according to the promises made by the Ukrainian government today, a real all-out war that they will wage to defend their country.
I think that's right. And Lawrence, it may not look like that initially because the Russians have such superior firepower. They may very well be able to quickly overwhelm Ukraine's military and disable large portions of it. Ukrainian military assets right now that are protecting the Russian invasion from Donetsk, they won't be able to move to, for example, defend Kyiv quickly enough. But nonetheless, the Ukrainians are tenacious people, and they're going to defend their homeland. They're going to defend their ability to decide their own destiny and not to be controlled by the Kremlin. So I think this will be a very costly endeavor. I certainly hope that the NATO allies, the West, and our allies beyond the West will sustain crippling sanctions over time, as long as it takes, to completely debilitate the Russian economy, to make the Russian people feel the folly of their leader in invading their neighbor. And we have to work together to make this a failure for Putin, or we'll see more of this. We'll see more of this with China and Taiwan. We'll see more of this from Vladimir Putin. I think nothing less than the international rules-based order is at stake here. And this is a momentous and tragic day when once again we see a dictator in Europe try to remake the map of Europe by using its military power.
Chairman Schiff, you've just returned from the Munich Security Conference, and I was struck by the fact that on day one of the sanctions, the German pipeline was part of the sanction package. The German government agreed to that. Is that because the United States was sharing precise intelligence indicating that we were this close, we were a day or less than a day away from an actual invasion?
I think that certainly contributed to it. We sat down with the German chancellor, and we've been sharing, through the Biden administration, have been sharing intelligence with our allies very closely. But really, it's a tribute to the German people. This is a really important project for Germany. It was no easy matter, I think, to come to the position that they're going to have to kill this project. But they are going to have to kill it. And we're determined to kill it now that Russia has so egregiously invaded its neighbor and violated international law. We can't allow Russia's petroleum resources to continue to be leverage over our allies. So it's mostly a credit to the German people and to the chancellor that they share the resolve of the rest of the world, even though Germans are going to feel economic consequences much more keenly than we will in the United States.
What can you tell Americans to expect over the next couple of days as we watch this unfold? From your position in the Intelligence Committee, I know you have a lot of information, but this is one of those odd couple of weeks where a great deal of that intelligence information has been being publicly shared by the president.
Well, I think we can expect that we're going to see a massive military campaign by the Russians that may very quickly overwhelm Ukrainian forces. I do not think we should judge whether the campaign by Putin is going to be successful in the first hours, days, or even weeks. This is likely to be a long conflict and tragically a bloody conflict. You're going to see Russian cyber attacks on Ukraine. There is the danger of Russia escalating with cyber attacks on other countries in the region, and including potential attacks on the United States, to which we will be forced to respond. I think you're going to see continuing propaganda flood the zone in social media and elsewhere. Russian propaganda trying to blame Ukraine, trying to push out these phony pretexts as if Ukraine were planning some terrorist act against Russia. That's all a bunch of Russian misinformation, but we're going to see a lot more of that. And I think the American people understand the importance of defending democracy in Ukraine. And this is what I think is really at stake. What terrifies Putin, and we've seen this over time, were those color revolutions that were bringing democracy closer and closer to his door. And a successful democracy in Ukraine is an example to the Russian people that they don't have to live under Putin's despotism. He considered a dire threat to his regime. And I think that's motivating a lot of what we're seeing today.
Congressman Adam Schiff, Chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, thank you very much for joining us on this sadly historic night. Thank you very much.